Welcome to my city, a certified hardcore sports town. We champions in all the big four sports now. It's not smart to bet against us, we a force now. We got heart like going for it on fourth down. Ain't nothing soft about us at Philly Pretzel. Used to doubt us, now you gotta respect the Philly special. Talking trash, you gon' need a pass, cause my city ride. We fanatics, you don't wanna see our gritty side. Support the colleges, what up the big five? The women too, like Xfinity, we get live. Whether diving for a touchdown, driving to the hole, swing and hit a home run, fire for a goal. We kick it with the union, in the air with the stars. See sports with the fusion, I don't care where you are. You can never be too hype for the team you like. Philly unite, tonight's the night, so let's fight for the Flyers. Phillies, Sixers, Eagles, represent the city and let's do it for the people. We never throw the towel, I come from a proud city. Ring the bell, scream and yell, now say it loud with me. Flyers, Phillies, Sixers, Eagles, represent the city and let's do this for the people. So all Philly fans, let the rest of the world know Philadelphia fans, the best in the world. Go!
Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Back on this beautiful Sunday fall morning in the Delaware for me area. Hope you guys are having a good start to your Sunday mornings. You know, got the breakfast popping already. I didn't do mine. I usually do mine after the show, so mine is more of a brunch. But hopefully you guys got your breakfast popping, your eggs good, your eggs was good, your coffee was hot, and you're ready to sit down and let me entertain you for an hour or so, depending on how the show is going. We may go longer. We may go 2 hours. We may go 3 hours. No, we ain't going that long. But anyway, you know, welcome in. We are live here to talk about this Sunday Eagles matchup. Eagles versus the Cowgirls. We give them a little bit of respect, the Cowboys. I'm gonna call them by their name, but you know, us Philly fans refer to them as the Cowgirls. And because they are the Cowgirls, you know, I labeled the name of this video is the rivalry between the Eagles and the Cowboys a rivalry for the Cowboys, or is it just a rivalry for the Eagles because we hate the Cowboys or we don't like the Cowboys? That's what I need to know throughout the stream. I'm going to ask everybody to weigh in on that thought process to see if we're making it bigger than what they look at it as, because from my understanding, Cowboy fans are more rivals with the Commanders than they are with the Eagles. The true Cowboys fans always say we do not like the Commanders, or you know, back in the day the red people, you know, the Redskins. Sorry if that's incorrect, but that's what they were calling them back in the day. But that is their rivalry. That is who they don't like. That is who they get geared up to play against. They get geared up to play against the Redskins or the Commanders now more than they do the Eagles. So is it a hey Facebook user? Who is the Facebook user? What's going on? Glad you're here. Thanks for being a part of the show. Maybe you can answer the question. Is it a rivalry between do the Eagles look at the Cowboys as a rivalry because we hate them, or do you really believe it's truly a rivalry? I don't believe it. I mean, I believe that the Cowboy fans look at it as not a rivalry because they don't like the Commanders. They could care less about us Eagles and us Eagles fans. Their biggest thing is the Commanders. So do we make too much into it? You say it is truly a rivalry. You know what? I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I just think that we have so much bitterness as fans towards the Cowboys that we don't we look at it as a rivalry. So like the Commanders, truthfully, you said we don't like neither one of them, but the Commanders, truthfully, they don't like us. We never really had a an issue with any Commanders fans. Like, I mean, we never really cared about Commanders fans. The Commanders didn't like us. I think mostly we hated the Giants. That was our rivalry. The Cowboys, I think, got brought into that because of how they talk. And their fans are just so, arrogant. Because I mean, they had since in the 90s, they had every right to feel that way because they were the dominant team in the NFC East. As much as I hate to say that, but they were the most dominant team in the NFC East. So they had the right to be cocky and dominant. I mean, talk trash like that because they were winning. And I think that's what pissed a lot of us as Eagles fans off, the fact that they were winning, and we turned that bitterness and that hatred for them because we were losing and we were not a good team into a rivalry when they looked at it and said, y'all not even on our level. I mean, out of the NFC, I don't know how many the Commanders got. I think we the only team with one Super Bowl. So, I mean, rightfully so, they could look past us as the little dogs on the show. You know what I mean? The little pups in the group, because we haven't proven success over the years. Now we had regular season success throughout the years, but it hasn't translated into Super Bowls even when the Cowboys were winning Super Bowls. So that is, I mean, to me, that is why I think they look at us and say, y'all nothing to us. We're not worried about y'all. And they hated the Commanders or, the Redskins back in the day. So it's, I like I said, I think that we have so much dislike for them that's why we feel that way about them. That's just me because the way they talk to us, the way they, they act and, being deemed the America's team and all that nonsense all the accolades and things that they got is why we feel some type of way about them. But anyway, let's get into the game that we watched last week against the Jaguars, where we were supposed to be cruising into a victory when our guy, and I said this to a couple people throughout the week, any and every time you get this man some type of credit for a good job he's done in a particular, he put it like this, he had a phenomenal coaching job against the Bengals. And we were all happy and excited for that coaching job he had against the Bengals. Real quick, service announcement. If you're in here, I added a new streaming platform to the show, Twitch. If you have Twitch, can you please go on there, subscribe to my Twitch page. If you don't have it, go on your app store, download it, subscribe to the page, and you can delete the app after that if you want. But, I'm trying to grow on all platforms. So if you can, go on Twitch. So drop me a follow on Twitch. I appreciate it. I'm live on there right now as we speak. So please, please, please. And that's why the celebration with the chain is on today, because I started a new platform with Twitch, and I'm trying to get that to grow, as well as Facebook and YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So please, please, please drop a follow on that Twitch. Drop a follow on this. Like it, like this page, like this live right now. Please continue to like that button, hit that like button, hit that follow button. Share the page out as much as you can. I would greatly appreciate it, to all you good people out there who's doing that for me. But anyway, back to Nick Sirianni. Every time we get this man some kudos and some props, he always finds a way to mess it up. We gave that man a good coaching job. He did a good coaching job last week against not last week, but the week before against Cincinnati. And everybody was so hyped, like, okay, maybe we're back. Maybe we're going to get this ship right. ship, not, the customer ship right. And we're going to, be that dominant team that we thought we could be. And then we go out and we finally get some points in the first quarter of a game all year long. And we're like, oh, yeah, we back. And then he refuses to kick extra points and field goals. And we saw in the third quarter, it totally hurt us and kicked us in the tail. That fumble that Saquon had was not a fumble. It was odd to me that it just seemed like they did not review it. I don't sit here, as y'all been watching me, I don't sit here and let the refs dictate what we do or what we don't do. So I'm not going to use the ref. If we would have lost that game, yes, it would have been a bad call. It was considered a bad call, but I would not have made that an excuse. Why I would not have made that an excuse? Because Nick Sirianni lost us that game. His bad coaching lost us that game. Like, if he gets his head out as you know what, and just coaches the game and stop trying to be this, I want to be known as the most aggressive head coach in Eagle history or the NFL, whatever it is that he's seeking to get, and call the game, play the game to win. You take the points when they're given to you. We were up 22-0. We were doing what we wanted to do. You convert those field goals and touchdowns, and the game is way different. You suck all the life out of that Jaguars team if you just do the little things. For the life of me, this guy, to me, like, we won the game. Yes, shout out to Nakobe Dean for a phenomenal interception at the end of the game. From what I saw, he knew that play was going to be called, and he was in the correct position to make that interception to seal the game. So shout out to Nakobe Dean. Shout out to the defense. Shout out to the offense. But Nick Sirianni gets an F. He gets an F. And, like, this is probably his fourth or fifth F of the year. Maybe even more than that. Maybe even more than that. Because he sucks when it comes down to it. Like, it's like, Nick, you got to do better. You're putting your team in bad positions. You're putting your team in bad positions to where they don't need to be. Any normal, not even going to say normal, any head coach, if you're up 22-0, what would be your reasoning for being so aggressive and going for it and not kicking field goal? What are you getting out of it? Like, you were up 22-0. Let's just say you were up 17-0. Kick the field goal, kick the extra point. Keep putting points on the board to really suck the life out of that team. The Jaguars had nothing. I think Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts combined for more rushing yards than their whole team. Like, you got that type of production. All you just need to do is let Kellen Moore call his plays, and you execute by kicking the extra point or the field goal when it's there. I think he went for it on a 4th and 3 and threw a pass. You have Saquon, like, they were getting pressure on Hurts. You have Saquon, who's averaging 5 yards a carry. 4th and 3, if you're going to go for it, run the ball. I think too much that I sit here and I say this stuff over and over and over again. It's like a broken record. Every first half hour of this show always is the same conversation. Like, I just want to one day have a show and talk about normal, like how we just was out there being dominant. We had, I think, one show like that this year, and that was the Bengals, where we were just dominant, and it was good to see. He wants to be coach of the year. Tell you what, he's going to be in the unemployment line at the end of the year. Think about it like this. Take the Jaguars off the field. Insert the Kansas City Chiefs. we lose that game every single way you can if that was the Chiefs playing and not the Jaguars. Because Mahomes is going to say to Andy Reid, they don't want to win. They giving us a chance to win. Let's go ahead and go out there and do what we got to do. The Jaguars are just a bad football team. They don't know how to win, and because they don't know how to win, that's why we were able to win that game. But you put a better football team out in that field. I mean, even if you were to put the even if you put the Bengals, if that was last week against the Bengals, we lose that game. If that happened last week against the Bengals, we lose that game. I mean, now obviously people are gonna be on here saying like, "Hey, man, the win is a win. Why are you complaining? What you mad for? Dude? This is football, right? And our ultimate goal is not to win the most regular season games in the league. Our goal is to get to the Super Bowl and win it all. So that's why I'm complaining, because you can't be on the stage in a platform like the Super Bowl and do what he did the other day. You know how sick we would have been if that was the Super Bowl? If that was the Super Bowl, we were up 22. Now, most of us would have been in our house, probably inebriated, eating some good food, celebrating, laughing, and joking. And he's doing stuff like that and cost us a Super Bowl. A lot of us probably would have jumped out the window, broke TVs, burnt jerseys, and did all kind of nonsense because we cannot believe how we lost that game. We cannot believe how they came back from 22-0 to win. You know how sick a lot of us Eagles fans would have been if that was a Super Bowl game? So don't look at it as if, oh no, it's just we won this, we won this, we won. No. These are the things that we gotta fix now. These are the things that if we can fix them now, truthfully, they should have been fixed before the season started. Get all your aggression out then. Get it out in preseason. Go for it in preseason. I guess what you got to do is play situational football. You're up 22-0. There's no need to keep trying to go for two. There's no need. And it's almost like he saw that he missed once, and he was like, you know what? I gotta get it. I'm gonna get a 2-point conversion. I'm gonna get it no matter what. I'm gonna keep going until I get it. Maybe all the negative press would change his coaching habits. I very seriously doubt it. I think sometimes that Nick Sirianni looks at it as if he's playing or he's coaching for his future with another team. He still has, because I honestly believe that after this season, the only thing that can stop him from losing his job is we win it all. If we win a Super Bowl, then Nick Sirianni will remain as a head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. However, if we come short of getting to the Super Bowl, or even short in the Super Bowl, he loses his job. Because even though he apologized and was sympathetic about it a couple of weeks ago, and the players came out in his defense when he was arguing with the fans and all that like that, that is still a product on the field that you do not want to see. I mean, think about all the great coaches that we have in the NFL, that coached in the NFL, that's retired, whatever. Have you ever seen any one of those guys argue with a fan during a game? I don't care if it's the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left. Have you ever seen a head football coach argue with a fan during the game? As he should lose his job. He should. He most definitely should. I don't want to say that I want to see a man lose his job. Because he got family, he got kids, he got to support some people, as a man and what he do for his career. But ultimately, when you're thinking about it, he is not qualified to continuously do what he's doing, and it's not producing results. Like if he's like that second year when Shane Steichen went to him and said, "I want the play calling ability," and he gave him the play call. We went to the Super Bowl. That was, to me, the most humble year of his career, because at that point it was his second year. He had no expectations. Nobody thought they were going to do what they did. You know what I mean? And it worked out for him. And it seems like ever since that run, it's always, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I don't care what you say. It's good to have that mentality because you're saying I'm lining my offense up against your defense. My offense is going to win, and I got confidence in it. That's good to have and good to believe. But at the end of the day, you still need to play smart. Take the points when you need. Stop being so aggressive. He came from the Colts. I think he was the offensive coordinator for the Colts or the wide receivers coach for the Colts. So that's where he came from. He came from the Colts. But, I mean, even when the hire came about, I wasn't necessarily ecstatic about it because I felt as though it's probably some more experienced coaches out there. But, I mean, don't get it wrong. I like his enthusiasm. I like his passion. I like his aggressive. I do like some of his aggressiveness. I think he just had to pick and choose the right times to be aggressive. I think he has to choose the right times to be aggressive. And if he's not choosing to me the right times to be aggressive because he's kicking or he's thinking to himself that I'm not kicking. I just missed my last 2-point conversion. I'm going to keep calling 2-point conversions until I get it. And it's like every time you lose that 2-point conversion, you give the other team the momentum or thought process that they can get back into this game and possibly win. And we saw that last week. We saw week 2 against the Falcons. Like we've seen it a lot this year, and it's killing us. Like I said, take the Jaguars out of that scenario, put the Chiefs in, and watch us. We lose that game. We lose that game. Even though Nakobe Dean came up with the interception to seal the deal, if that was a Pat Mahomes thrown ball, that's going to his numbers every time. He's throwing it short so that the receiver can come get it. Trevor Lawrence threw it over the top of his head, which led to the interception. But they were driving on our defense. And at the end of the day, you cannot put your team in that. You seen the offensive performance that Saquon had. Imagine that. Imagine he did what he did, and it ended up in a loss. Imagine how bad or mad us as Eagles fans would feel. Big mistake. Lurie should bring him into the office and have a serious discussion. I totally agree with you. He should go I said it from the rip. He should go into Howie Roseman's office and resign. Because, and again, no grown man or no man in his position will ever do it, will ever sit there and say, I'm going to resign or anything like that. But, like, the way you have been putting our football, like, think about something, right? And like I said, I said it all year long. And I've been watching analysts and everything say the same thing I'm saying. On paper, we got the best team, pretty much the best team in the NFC right now. On paper, just on paper. Like, we're not going to talk about, X's and O's. On paper, one of the best teams in the league, right? You got a dominant running back who's almost at 1,000 yards in week 10. Almost at 1,000 yards in week 10. You got 2 dominant receivers. You got a dominant tight end and a dominant offensive line. That's just your offense. That's just your offense. Your defense got young studs at cornerbacks. Your linebacker, Nakobe Dean, has tremendously stepped up to the plate. Zach Bond has stepped up to the plate. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis are taking leaps ahead. Old man Brandon Graham is still balling in his 15th year. Old man Brandon Graham is still balling. Josh Sweater's getting starting to step up. We miss Bryce Huff. We don't know where Bryce Huff at. We wish Howie would have just paid Hassan Reddick and gave him his money. But our defense and our offense are one of the best in the leagues. If we play to that potential, think about it. If you want to try to stop Saquon, I got AJ and Devontae on the outside. And if let's just say you got 2 good corners, I got Dallas coming over the middle. And let's just say you got a linebacker to stop Dallas. I got the DeHaan Johnson. Like, you got weapons to use, but we're just not using them because our head coach wants to be aggressive and do things that he shouldn't do. Do things that he shouldn't do. Just imagine if you go for them points, right, and get the game out of reach. You can use guys like Jahan Dotson. Sorry, get him more active. You can start calling more plays to him. Get him in the game more. We've yet to really see him consistently be in the game. You can get your young guys in. Get the screens going with Anaya Smith and get Johnny Wilson in the game. You can't put yourself in a position where you're not putting points on the board, and you ultimately get ready to lose the game because you're calling bonehead plays, and your defense can't be out there every time to make stops. Got to realize this is the NFL. Everybody on the other side is professional just as well as you are. So when you got points on the board, you got to take them. Because the thought process is if you take the mental aspect out of it for the other team, it makes it much easier for you to get your victory. Think about something like this. If you would have went up, what did they say? It was 7 points that was left on the board. We wind up, it was 28-25 or no, 28-23. Imagine if it's 35, if we had 35 points on the board. Let's just imagine we had 35 points on the board because we kicked field goals and scored extra points. You know, at that point, a lot of the other team is going to be like, you know what, we're getting our butts kicked today. I don't know if we can come back because of what Saquon is hurting over people backwards. Like, we're done. Let's just hurry up and get out of here. Like, this dude is really jumping over people backwards. What chance do we stand with a guy doing something like that? He's having his best career year with the Eagles right now, and we're losing 35-0. Let's just hurry up and get out of here. You took their mental right out of the game by just putting points on the board when they came to you. It almost somebody said this the other day. It's almost like Nick Sirianni or what's his name, Jake Elliott did something with Nick Sirianni's wife or something because he's like, I'm not kicking with him. And then when he puts him in position to kick 50-plus yard field goals. You don't want him to kick the 25, 30-yard field goal. You want him to kick the 50-plus. Because now you start to feel the pressure of, oh, we haven't converted an extra point or a two-point conversion all game long, and I keep going for it. Now I got to figure out a way to get some points because now the game is getting tight, and we need it. So now it's 4th down and 5 at the 50, at the 45. Send Jake Elliott out there, let him kick it. Like, dude, are you serious? Tell me if you think that makes sense or not. To me, it makes no sense at all. 4th down and 5 at your own 45, and you don't kick on your own 35, 20, or 30-yard line, but you'd rather kick on your own 45, a 50-yarder. Like, it makes no sense because now the pressure is on you to be able to win this game. All you have to do is take the points when they're there for you. I can understand if it's a tight game and it's 4th and 3 and you need to convert this 1st down so that you can keep your offense on the field to try to win the game. I'm all for it at that point. But at 22-0, any and every free point you get, you take. Your extra point after a touchdown, you kick it. You're 4th and 3 at your own 30, you kick it. It's just simple. It's simple head coaching. Again, I know he forgot more football than I ever knew, but to me, some things are just simple. Some things are just real simple. He's not thinking right. That's why I said someone should have some serious discussion with him. I mean, I think they had a discussion with him the off season before they hired the cornerbacks. I mean the before they had the coordinators. But I think that, like I said, I think that Nick Sirianni, to me, is trying to coach for his future because somehow I think he knows that the writing is on the wall. So if he can prove to other teams that he's aggressive and he's willing to play aggressive style football, he thinks that it might appeal to somebody else, which more power to you, buddy. But it don't work here. I mean, it could work, but it's not working, and you're not using it or doing it at the right times. That's just my thought process. Like I said, I've been saying it all year long. He's not calling the right plays at the right times when he needs to. So that is my rant for the first half hour of the show about the Eagles and Nick Sirianni. Great win. I'm not necessarily complaining about the win. I just think we could have did it better. I don't think any other team is impressed. You never know. You never know, because here's the thought process, right? Just because he didn't get it done in Philly doesn't mean he can't get it done somewhere else. And people will take a chance because he went to the Super Bowl before. Think about it like this. A team like Dallas might take a chance on a fiery head coach like that. The Cowboys might take a chance on a fiery head coach like that because he riled his troops up at one point in time and took them to the Super Bowl. So you can't say that no other team might not be impressed. It's the NFL. You've seen coaches go to teams that you would never think they would go to, or never think that team would want that type of coach. But it happens. Raheem Morris, I have nothing against the guy. I really don't know him. But I thought that the Atlanta Falcons would have picked Bill Belichick over him. But what do I know? Like I'm saying, we don't know what would happen with some of these head coaches. And like I said, sometimes teams can see the way this guy is coaching and say, you know what, I'm going to take a shot on him. Maybe I can make it work. Some people like that fieriness. You never know. I mean, it doesn't work all the time. And I think that's the part that he doesn't realize is that, no, you can't argue with fans. No, you can't keep kicking or going for, 2-point conversions and things of that nature. You got to take the points. And it seems like I said, he gets his head stuck up as as he's trying to kick these 2-point conversions or make these 2-point conversions because he's failed them. He's failed all of them, and throughout the game. So he's trying to force his way to convert now. So again, with that said, like I said, Facebook user, we can continue to talk about that stuff, and you can, as you have questions or thoughts and you want to comment in the chat, I definitely will acknowledge it and we can talk about it. But this section or part of the show is what we call Pick'em Hour, or Pick'em part of the show. It is week 10 in the NFL. I hope everybody has the same sheet that I have because I don't think there was any games flexed this week. So we should all be on the same page when it comes to calling these games out. So we're going to start on week 10. Shout out to Nay last week who won it, who won the pick'em for week 9. I think she was 13-3 or something like that. Or I know I went. I think she was 12-3. I think it was 12-3 was the top spot. I know I went 12-3 too. So y'all, I told y'all in my video before. If y'all don't see it, go on my social medias and look up my video from the picks. I did it on Wednesday. The NFL picks for week 10. Last week I went 12-3. I'm telling y'all, if y'all want to win some money, if y'all betting online, on your favorite sports outlets, look at some of those picks. I got some of the best picks out. Trying to tell you, I'm trying to put y'all in the game. But if y'all don't want to listen, that's on y'all. Don't tell me I ain't tell you. So we saw week 1. Last Thursday, we saw Baltimore beat the Cincinnati Bengals by 1 point. I thought the Cincinnati Bengals were going to win that game, and I was actually kind of nervous because that's the first pick of the week for week 10 of the NFL season. But Baltimore came out with the victory, and so far I'm 1-0. Next game is New York Giants at the Carolina Panthers, which is actually on right now. And the New York Giants are losing 10-7. And it looks like that. It looks like the Carolina is driving to score again. So I picked the Giants in that game because I thought the Giants' defense would be a lot better. Was a lot better than the Carolina's offense. Facebook user said the Giants. New York is winning. I mean, New York, but Carolina is winning. Yes, I picked the Giants. I thought the Giants was going to win that game, and I think the Giants should be able to win that game, but it doesn't look like it. Bryce Young looks a lot better than he did before when he first started out the season, but he's still a rookie, and I think that Carolina team is not a rookie. He's still a second-year player, but I think that Carolina team is still not good. And I thought the Giants would be able to win, but we'll see. We'll see the outcome in a few minutes. Next game is the New England Patriots at the Chicago Bears. New England Patriots at the Chicago Bears. Facebook user goes New England. I go Chicago. Chicago lost a game last week. I think Chicago is going to be. Oh, you changed your pick to Chicago? All right, you got Chicago. I think Chicago win that game. Period. You know what I mean? I think Chicago is the better team, even though I think Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback for New England because I think Drake May was hurt. But I think Chicago win that game. I think they find a way to get in the win column on that week on this week. Next game, Buffalo at the Indianapolis Colts. Buffalo Bills at the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not sure if Anthony Richardson is starting again. I'm not sure if he got a starting job back. Facebook user goes Buffalo. I'm going Buffalo in that one too. I think Buffalo is the better team, and they will win that game because Buffalo has been, Josh Allen is one of those quarterbacks that he could put a team on his back and come out with a victory. He's just one of those. He's just one of those guys. He's just one of those talents that he could put the team on his back, and it will come out with a victory. So I believe that Buffalo will win that game. It's at the 1:00 hour against the Colts. Next game is Denver at Kansas City. Denver at Kansas City. Kansas City. Why my name not coming up? Who is this? You gotta tell me. I don't know who. I'm just calling you Facebook user because that's what it say. I'm not sure why your name not coming up. I have no idea. Who is it? Oh, you threw me off a little bit. And mine. Who mine? I don't know. Something going on. Who? My mom and Joanna. I don't know. I don't know why it came up. Yeah, I don't know why it's coming up. Hold on, I don't know. You're alive. I have no. It's the same ones that I've used all year long. I do not know why your name's the same Facebook user at all. It doesn't make no sense to me. I'm not sure why is it doing that. That I thought I had a new. I'm looking at Facebook user. I thought I had a new friend on the show, but it's all good. I mean, we're just going to kick through it. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. Put JJ behind your picks. That's cool. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I have to look into it, but that's pretty annoying that it did that. I thought it was somebody else that wasn't a part of the show that just came on the show, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll keep it going. What game were we on? What was the last game? Bills? No, the Chiefs. We were on the Chiefs. Okay, you'll put M for mine. Okay. The Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going Kansas City in that game. Kansas City is 8-0 right now, and I think they go 9-0 because Denver's a good team. They're coming up. They got good defense, but I think that Kansas City's just got too much experience. If you've seen DeAndre Hopkins last week scored 2 touchdowns for that team, I think that team was just going to be unstoppable. I don't think they go undefeated, but I don't see them losing against Denver. They don't go undefeated, but I just don't see them losing against Denver. All right, so my mom, Joanna, picks Kansas City, and my mom picks Denver. Like I said, I'm going Kansas City in that pick. And like I said, because I just think Patrick Mahomes is one of those quarterbacks, and that team, that Kansas City team, is just an all-around good team. Atlanta at New Orleans. Atlanta at New Orleans. Now, I picked Atlanta to win. Atlanta is the better team. But anytime there is a coaching change, that team usually comes out and plays some inspired football. My mom picks New Orleans. Joanna picks Atlanta. Anytime there's a coaching change, that team usually comes out and just plays lights out football. So you would think that I would went with New Orleans, but I still, and New Orleans traded away their cornerback Marshawn Lattimore to the Commanders, which I did not like because I don't want to go against Marshawn Lattimore twice a year. But it is what it is. But since they did that, they didn't make any other moves that I know of. No, I think they traded away a defensive end or a defensive player too, another defensive player. But I think Atlanta's still going to win that game, even though they play inspired football. When you lose a head coach, I think Atlanta finds a way to win that game. So I'm going Atlanta in that game. Next game, San Francisco at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like I say, Baker Mayfield, they took Kansas City to overtime last week. Again, they took Kansas City to overtime last week. And if what's his name? Todd Bowles decides to get aggressive in that point and go for a 2-point conversion. See, that's where Nick Sirianni, if you listen, that's where you go for a 2-point conversion to win the game. If he goes for that 2-point conversion to win the game, like it's a whole different thought process against, the Kansas, not against Kansas City, but with Tampa Bay. People look at them differently. They lost 2 of their top receivers. 2 of the number 1 receivers is not playing right now. I don't know if Chris Godwin is coming back or if Mike Evans will be back this week. But Baker Mayfield looked like he didn't even lose a step without playing with them. Christian McCaffrey is back for the 49ers. My mom picks San Fran. Joanna picks San Fran. Here's the shocker for me. I'm gonna tell you this is an upset because Tampa Bay's defense has been playing pretty good defense. Their defensive line is a pretty good defensive line. I think they get a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy throughout the game. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be rusty coming back. This is his first game all season long, so I think he's going to be rusty in this game. And it's not going to be the smooth selling that we would think it would be that the 49ers, as we used to see in the 49ers beat. So I think that Tampa Bay comes in and upsets. San Francisco goes to Tampa Bay and get upset, and they lose that game. I'm picking Tampa Bay. And again, let me preface my pick by saying this. It has nothing to do with my dislike for the 49ers. It's mostly that I don't like their fans. It's nothing to do with the team itself. I just think that this game in particular, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will find a way to win. That's just my thought process and what I believe is going to happen. It has nothing to do with just my dislike for the 49er team. It's just like I don't like the fans. Next game, this next game is a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. And it's the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Washington Commanders. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Washington Commanders. My mom picks Washington. I don't think Washington will get it done. Joanna picks Pittsburgh. I think that it's because Pittsburgh added a receiver from the Jets, Mike Williams, who recently played in the Chargers organization. Mike Evans is a solid receiver. Once the Jets traded for Devontae Adams, they were not going to incorporate him in the offense too much anymore, because they had Devontae Adams. I think that Mike Williams in this offense will be effective. Russell Wilson has a target to throw to. Jaden Daniels has been playing good football, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers defense will be enough to stop him and keep him contained. I think they'll put a spy on him and not let him run. I think they're going to force him to pass the ball and win the game through his passing. Not saying that he can't do it. We know he can do it. We know the man can sling the football. But I think the philosophy for Pittsburgh defense is to keep an eye on him and not let his legs beat you and make him throw the ball and win it with his arm, which not saying it can't be done. I just don't think it's going to be done against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got Pittsburgh in that game. So I just want to say real quick, all these games that I'm picking, if you guys, my mom and Joanna, if y'all want to switch and change your picks, by all means, you got time to do it now. Let me know now. Because, if you want to win, if you want to, my mom, I know you go on DraftKings and you place your bets, take some of my picks and put them on DraftKings and you probably can win something. Trust me, you probably can win something. The next game, Minnesota at Jacksonville Jaguars. Minnesota Vikings at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I got Minnesota. I think Minnesota wins that game. I think Jacksonville. No, thank you. I want to win. Okay. All right. We'll see. Mind you, I went 12-3 last week. Telling you that. Joanna picks Minnesota. We saw last week Jacksonville lost the game against the Eagles. Jacksonville, to me, is going to be one of those teams that at the end of the year, Dougie Peterson is going to be looking for a job. It's not funny. I'm trying to help y'all out, and it's actually sad. It's sad that you're not listening. But we saw the Jacksonville Jaguars lose last week against the Eagles. Dougie Peterson is going to be looking for a job at the end of the year. I think they're going to have to. I think that team, if Minnesota comes out and does anything like what the Eagles did last week, and let's say go up 26-17, nothing. I think a team like Minnesota just keeps pounding on you and pause and all that. But I think they keep going and put that game severely out of reach to where as though, the Jaguars are saying, you know what, let's just pack it in. Let's get ready for vacation. I don't think they're thinking that they're going to make the playoffs because I think they only have 2 wins on the season. So right now, most of the guys on that team are playing for, their futures. Dougie Peterson he's probably trying to play for his future because I think he's done after this season. Oh man, the Carolina Panthers are up 17-7 on the Giants. So I might be losing that pick because I picked the Giants, but it ain't over yet. It's still the third quarter. So before y'all in the comments start saying all this, see, I told you, don't type it and send it because it's not over yet. You never know what can happen in the fourth quarter. But the next game is Tennessee Titans at the Los Angeles Chargers. Tennessee Titans at the Los Angeles Chargers. I go Chargers in that game. Chargers will win. Chargers will come out victorious. That's the team that's young, and they're coming up. They got a good head coach and Jim Harbaugh. Justin Herbert is playing okay football. I think that he plays good enough that they win this game this week against the Tennessee Titans. So I go Chargers in that game. My mom goes Chargers. Joanna goes Chargers. So we all on the same page on that one. Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowgirls. That's how you say their name, the Dallas Cowgirls. Eagles. Saquon. I was looking at some of the pregame shows earlier, and they were talking about the Eagles and what they should do against the Cowboys. The Cowboys have poor run defense. So the thought process is to hand the ball off early and often. Again, Nick Sirianni. My mom picks the Eagles. Nick Sirianni, if you are watching, do yourself a huge, Joanna picks the Eagles, do yourself a huge favor. Take my advice right now. With the way that the Cowboys off defense is struggling to stop the run, let Kellen Moore design a bunch of runs for Saquon. Even you can even pass the ball to him out of the backfield. But the idea of it is to run the football all day long. Saquon should have about 25 attempts this game, 25, 30 attempts. I think he should get at least 200 yards, at least, because that's how much I'm asking him to run the ball, at least 200 yards. And let's just say the Cowboys then start to say we're going to stack the box and make it hard to run. Go for the pass. Then now you can go for the pass. Now you should have AJ one-on-one or Devontae one-on-one, which we know either one of them will win that matchup any day of the week. And here's the kicker to the game, Nick Sirianni. Here is the kicker. This is a phenomenon you're not used to and that you probably didn't really think of. This is coming from me, Jamar Top Shelf Sports Talk. This is what you do. When you score a touchdown, kick the extra point. Bam. Done. Kick the extra point, go back on defense. Hold on. Also, no 2-point conversions this game. None. One more thing, Nick. One more thing. 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. No touch push. Run it with your running back. Saquon Barkley or Kenneth Gainwell. Just an observation. All right, let me keep going now. I had to get that out. Get that out. Next game, New York Jets at the Arizona Cardinals. I got the Cardinals in that game. Cardinals are playing some good football. Kyler Murray looks like he's back. I think the Cardinals come out with a victory. That I keep saying it every time I talk about the Cardinals. I talk about that Kyler Murray to Marvin Harrison Jr. combination. Joanna goes Jets, my mom goes Arizona, but I think Cardinals are a better team than the Jets right now. I think the Jets are going to find themselves on the outside looking in, and I think that Devontae Adams is going to regret his decision to go to the Jets because I think that Aaron Rodgers might be 90 or 85% of the problem of why the Jets are not winning. So I think Aaron Rodgers finds a way they find a way to get rid of Aaron Rodgers at the end of the year. I don't know. Is it sunny and warm where you are and why you are? That is not a part of the show. We don't talk about weather forecasts. Neither one of us are meteorologists. We're just here to talk football, and that's all. So please keep those comments off the page, and if you want to know, you can come visit. All right, you will. That is one warning that you have occurred. It's like an offensive foul or a penalty on the field. So I have thrown a yellow flag at you right now. You get one more, then you're out the game. I have to toss you. So, all right. Detroit Lions at Houston Texans is the Sunday night game. Detroit Lions, and then you're going to sit here and answer the question. You're and you're not asking for a friend. Both of y'all have fouls on the play. Mom, you're on the verge of being booted. So I would stop while I was ahead. And again, we don't answer those type of questions here because we're not meteorologists. We're just here to report the football news and the sports news of Philadelphia. So please refrain from talking like that on this show. Detroit, back to the football. Detroit, they're about to get an old school beat down. Mind your business. Um, um, Detroit at Houston. We back to football, please. Back to football. Detroit at the Houston Texans. Detroit has been dominant all year long. All year long. Um, okay, so you put the 3 thumbs up. Okay. Joanna picks Detroit. Detroit been dominant all year long. They've been playing some great football all year long. I don't know. I think Jared Goff is putting up numbers like better than he was when he was a rookie, or better than he was in his career with the Rams. I mean, we picked Carson Wentz over him in that draft, and for the first 3 or 4 years, we thought we had the right pick. But we see Carson Wentz can't get a job anymore, and Jared Goff could be on the verge. He would have to go through the Eagles, but could be on the verge to get to a Super Bowl and possibly win one if he makes it there. So who had the better pick? The better pick was probably Goff. He's playing good football. That Detroit team is tough. We haven't said that in years about them being tough. So shout out to the Detroit Lions and the Detroit Lions fans. My mom picks Detroit. Like I said, Detroit. I think they win this game. And I think they are 8-1. I think they go 9-1 this week. So I go Detroit. Monday Night Football. The Miami Dolphins at the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I was going to limit say the Rams going to find a way to win. I think that the Rams defense, my mom picks the Rams. I think that the Rams defense will keep Miami in check. Joanna picks Miami, but I think the Rams defense will keep Miami in check. They all are healthy. I think Tua is playing, Waddle, Odell Beckham Jr. is on that team now, and the Cheetah. They all are out there, but you would say, well, how would they stop them? Because all 3 of those dudes they got burners on them. But I don't know. They figure out a way to get that dub with the defense. I think that's what it's going to come down to. The defense is going to have some play an amazing game with that team. Points for Monday Night Football is 21. So you're telling me that the 2 teams combined to score 21 points? That's a little. I mean, it could happen. I mean, that's like a 10-7 game, something like that. It could happen. 13. You know what I mean? I know it was you. I knew it was you. But that's a little low with those 2 teams. If I'm gonna pick points for that, my mom picks 41. Yeah, I'm gonna go around like 40 plus points in that game because those 2 teams could put some points on the board. So I'm gonna go like 40 plus on that game. Now, Joanna, if you want to keep it at 21, that's fine. We'll keep you at 21. But I think that's more of like a 40, 50 point game right there between the 2 teams. So again, like I said, I got the Rams winning that game, and that is my Week 10 picks for the show. Again, if you want some money, you might want to change your picks before the 1:00 game start and come on to my side and, copy my picks so that you can win, you can win some money if you're gambling. So you staying at 21? Cool, that's fine. That's fine too. You can stay at 21. You never know. Like I said, I predicted that the defense is going to be a factor in this game. They could shut them down. And you said you good? Okay. You don't have to come to my side. It's cool. Like when I go undefeated this week, you know what I mean? Don't say, oh, I wish I would have listened because then I would have won. Okay, it's gonna be too late at that point. But that is the show for this Sunday morning. Hope everybody that was involved enjoyed the show. Again, if you can, get into your app store, download Twitch, create an account. Follow Top Shelf Sports Talk on that page. It's Top Shelf Sports Talk 1 on that page because I am now live and streaming live on that page as well, and I'm trying to build that community too. Maybe that is what I don't know if that is what happened to the names on Facebook. I don't know why they didn't come up with the names. I thought I had a new follower when I saw Facebook user. I didn't know it wasn't showing y'all names. But if you guys can just go on Twitch and just drop me a follow on Twitch, it would greatly be appreciated. Thanks for being a part of the show. And again, as we always do, at the end of the show, we play our song to get us hyped, to celebrate the Eagles' victory, to try to, get us hyped and in the mood to watch some football. And, it's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk.
Thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
What?
Win.
What are we waiting for?
You know what you gotta do. Do it.
How you feel what's about to happen on this field, man?
They gonna get it to us. We got to take it.
They want to black out. We gonna get one black out. Stay together and keep fighting. Now, it's time to knuckle up. You hear everything that move. And it is first touchdown.
Brian Westbrook, he scored. Touchdown.
And the Eagles win. The Eagles win. Let's get into it all day. Relentless. Are you script? Are you power? Are you low? Give me what you got. Right now. Right now. You ain't ready for a fight? Go ahead and go home. Because that's what this gonna be for 4 quarters. A fight. We always win when we fight together.
That's how winning is done.
Now get out there.